Okay, the lines L and AB intersect at the point E. Okay, so you can see there my line L and the line AB intersecting here at the point E, and we've got to find the coordinates. Now, we know those two equations for line L and AB, so to work out where they intersect, where they cross each other, I just need to solve them simultaneously. Okay, so if I solve them simultaneously, I'll have a value for x and y, which will be that coordinate there. So quite simply, to solve them simultaneously, what I can do here is from 1, okay, rewrite 1, so I have x equals 2. Well, if I get x on one side, take everything else over the other side, that minus 2y goes over, becomes a 2y. The 8 goes over, becomes minus 8. X will be 2y minus 8. I can sub that then into 2. Okay, so I have 2x. Well, x is this, isn't it? 2y minus 8 plus y minus 9 equals 0. So then it's a case of then expanding this bracket. So I get 5y minus 25 is 0. So 5y is 25, which means y is 5. Okay. Then I'm going to sub that then back into here to work out what x is. So if I call this 3, okay, so sub into 3, so I'll have x will equal to then 2 times 5 minus 8, okay, so I get x out to be 2, okay. So my coordinate then for E is 2 for x, 5 for y. And you know, when I go back and check here, right, it is actually right because I've done this to scale. You do go across 2 and up 5, okay. So we've got our coordinate there. Now for the next part then, it says calculate the length of EF, where F is the midpoint of AB. So I roughly put where F would be here, okay, the midpoint of AB, and we need to get this distance here. So we've got a formula for distance, okay, we've got a formula for distance. But before we use that formula, of course, we need to know the coordinates of E and F. Well, we know E is 2, 5. To get F, well, of course, we've got to use the midpoint formula, okay. So basically, we've got A to start with, which is 1, 7, okay, and we're going to use B then, which is 5 minus 1. So the midpoint of that then will be F. So remember, the midpoint formula is x1 add x2 over 2, y1 add y2 over 2. So basically, to get the midpoint of two coordinates, you've got to add up the x values divided by 2. So be 1 plus 5 divided by 2. Add the y values as well then. Okay, so 7 minus 1 divided by 2. Okay, because you're adding these, that happens to be negative. So you get, so that's 3, and then this is also 3, I think, yeah? Okay, so 3, 3, okay. I'll go back to my sketch. That kind of does make sense, doesn't it? 3, 3, I'm going across 3, up 3. So then we need the distance then between E and F, okay? So I'll write those two coordinates down. So E is 2, 5, F is 3, 3. So then to get the distance, EF, I've got to use the other formula then, x2 minus x1 all squared, plus then y2 minus y1 all squared, okay? Square root the whole thing then, okay? This comes from Pythagoras. So it doesn't matter what you call x1, y1 and x2, y2. Maybe we'll do it like that, x1, y1, x2, y2. So we'll do the x2, which is 3, take away x1, which is 2, all squared, and then y2, which is 3, take away y1, which is 5, all squared. Tap all that into your calculator, okay? And you will get your answer to be square root of 5, and you leave it like that, okay? That's our distance there for E there.